we've recruited 2 classes prior to this that didn't have that, and this class did, and I think that was an impact on this class, and they got to see, what kind of game day environment we were going to have here at Charlotte, and it was really good. So we need to, thank our fans and know that we really appreciate them coming out and supporting us and watching us play and being there for our guys. And our coaches did a good job. Our administration, we ask a lot of people to help us in this process. And so from compliance to business office to, people on campus, Judy Rose gets involved with this process and speaks to our guys. So, that everybody did a nice job. And I thought our coaches really, really did a nice job of getting out and finding quality people that can play this game, and that'll be a reflection in this class. It's the next step in us building our roster to 85 scholarships. Felt good about it. We added some age at mid-year with bringing 5 guys in. One of them being our quarterback. He's not an old guy, but he did want to come start early. So we brought him in. I thought we had good balance, by all positions. We wanted to continue to fill out our team from a position standpoint. Getting 3 offensive linemen, 4 defensive linemen, I thought really helped ourselves at receiver. We took 5 receivers, 5 DBs. We helped ourselves from a skill standpoint. So we're just really excited about that. And once again, we had 9 guys from the state of North Carolina and the region. So North Carolina's been good to us over the years and continues to, and really excited about that. And so overall, I just am really excited about this class, and it's like I said, it's our first one with, everything in place. And, hopefully as we move forward, we continue to win games and continue to build our roster. But I really like where we are. We actually put 2 walk-ons on at mid-year to give us some age in Artie Holmes and Peter Fields. They're older guys that, did a nice job for us last fall, and we rewarded them at mid-year. So that was another way for us to add some age to our football team, along with the other 5 guys that we brought in. So that being said, we'll open it up.
Brad, so talk about the numbers just real briefly about where this puts you next year.
Yeah, this should put us about 75 scholarship players in the fall of 14. We should be right around there.
Coach, with having 2 recruiting classes already and the fact that your program is going to be moving up to Division I or FBS, if you want to be technically correct, did you notice a difference in the caliber of guys you were able to recruit with this class versus your previous classes?
Yeah, I don't know about caliber. I know the competition was different. So, you're recruiting against different people, whether that's Marshall or Kansas State or whoever, Appalachian. We had to compete against different people, and we feel like we won our fair share of those battles.
Can you talk about the importance of staying close to home? You got a lot of guys from North and South Carolina.
Huge. We don't ever want to leave our footprint of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and we took 5 kids this year out of the state of Georgia. South Carolina's been huge for us since we've been here, and this really just they're good players, but more importantly, they're good people, and school's important to them, and so it's a lot of good players you can find in these 3 states, and it's critical for us to stay here in our home region.
How important was it to sign 5 guys from the Charlotte area?
Really important. We're always going to take care of our region, like especially our local. Where that's Rock Hill, Charlotte. We want to. We get to live here every day. A lot of people fly in here and recruit. We get to live here every day, and so it's a lot of good football players in this city, and we need to make sure we do a good job every year.
Did you find that there were, this time around in the recruiting process, that there were players who were maybe more interested in your program because you're moving up to Conference USA?
No question. That affiliation has helped us a lot. I've always said it's about the brand that's behind your brand, and Conference USA brand's pretty strong and carries a good name, and so that's helped us. That's gotten us into some doors that we wouldn't be able to get into. No question.
And you touched on it, but how much does this help your depth? Because I know in talking last year, after your first and maybe some second stringers, the depth was not as what you would want.
Huge. As you build your roster, as we get to that 85 number in 2015, this is going to be big for us taking the next step, and we're just adding a lot of depth to our football team right now.
You taking a page out of Dave Gettleman's book and getting some hog mollies? You see, you got a lot of big guys there, all line and D-line.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about Mr. Gettleman, but you know, we've said from day one we really want to focus on, you know, you get one chance in life to start. You guys have heard me say that a million times, but we focused on building it inside out. You know, our game, it doesn't matter if you're high school, college, pro, you got to win this game on the line of scrimmage, and that's a critical area, and we need to continue to build depth there. I thought, as we've talked before in the fall, you know, that's what happened to us on our defensive line. You know, once we lost Devon, you know, we got a little depleted there and had to play a lot of young kids, and so, you know, we just need to keep adding to that group, no question.
How many out of this group do you hope to possibly redshirt or maybe even in play?
That usually works itself out, you know, in August, but we'll see. You know, obviously we'd like to redshirt some of them as we build forward, and some of them will want a redshirt to get, you know, all 4 years in Division I football. So that'll be something that we just have to make those decisions and have to maintain our discipline as coaches, you know, in August and not just throw them all out there and play them, you know. So we did that last year. We ended up redshirting 7 or 8 guys last year, and so those guys will be able to play, and we'll continue to, you know, do that with this class.
Without getting too specific about who's starting that kind of thing, at the quarterback position, bringing a kid in like Brooks, where do you think about redshirting him, losing, you know?
Yeah, we'll just let it play out. I mean, you would naturally think that. You know, based on the way Matt and Lee are performing, you know, we would anticipate that and try to separate them farther. But, you know, it's just like any other position. You know, best players play, and if he comes in and lights, you know, we don't care how old they are. You know, all that we don't. You know, we just try to put the best players out there to give us a chance to win. But, you know, you would think that would happen based on what Matt's done. And
Do you ideally want to have 3 quarterbacks the rest of them?
yeah, you will. You know, you'll put 3 out there, and hopefully you get through with, you know, with Matt and Lee.
Back to Brooks, and you're talking about North Carolina and Charlotte. What about Cartersville, Georgia?
Yeah, that's you know, Cartersville. They won, I think, 11 games this year, and his dad is the head football coach there, and I think it. You know, we really liked all 3 of those guys. TL, I think, really wanted to continue to play with his teammates, and in the end decided to come to Charlotte, and that was huge for us. All 3 of those guys are really, really good players, and we're excited that, you know, Cartersville's, you know, come to Charlotte. There's no question.
Chris Montgomery's a guy who played quarterback but played other positions. Did you immediately see him as a receiver, or is he still?
Yeah, we see him as a slot. We see him as a slot receiver, kind of where we play Austin. You know, he's dynamic with the football, and you know, he's a strong kid. He's really for a, you know, he plays bigger than he really is. He's a real physical player when he runs the ball. He could play defense for us. He and Mark Quattlebaum, you know, both played. They both play both ways, and you know, we think they're going to be slots coming in. That's where we're going to start them.
Talk about Brooks and bringing in 2 receivers that he's obviously used to throwing to and he has a connection with. Do you think that'll help his progression down the line?
Yeah, you know, Brooks is, you know, he's been around football his whole life. He's a gym rat, and he's a guy you can't kick out of the office. I mean, he's just been around it so long. I'm not sure that it matters really who he's throwing to. He's going to study the game, and he's got a great work ethic. And part of that's being a coach's son. You know, I've known his dad for a long time, and the connections in the state of Georgia, and you know, things Coach Barton's done down there have been really, really good. And so, you know, we're to see. But Brooks is, like I said, he's a gym rat, and he's going to study. He's already, you know, you got to throw him out of here. I mean, that guy's he'll be good for us, and I think that obviously with his guys coming in, it's an advantage for him. You know, he's got a chemistry with them, but I don't think it'll matter who he's throwing to.
Do you anticipate Arthur Hart stepping right in?
Yeah, I think it'll be hard to, you know, keep Arthur off the field as our punter. You know, and he's kind of a fun story for us. You know, he goes to. I don't think he'll have any challenges really. You know, he's got a great leg. Coach Dayton found him last year and got him to come to camp, and I got to work with him, and he's got a really, really strong leg. We're excited about him coming in. He's from Wisconsin, goes to high school in Washington, D.C., and at the model school. You know, he's a really pretty good athlete. He played other positions there for them, but he's got a big leg, and you know, we anticipate him coming in and being our punter.
We have any other questions for Coach Lambert?
So with the schedule coming out yesterday, your entire schedule North and South Carolina, not a whole lot of travel, but a chance for your.
Nice. We only leave the state once, huh?
I'm saying North and South Carolina. I'm saying you get your fans can go.
No question. No question. It's going to be a good schedule for us. It's challenging. We're adding the Citadel, and you know, we're adding Elon and John C. Smith. So you know, there's going to be some, you know, there's some good challenges on there. And once again, we'll face you know, 3 or 4 new head coaches as we did last year. Yeah, we're going to be. I think every game but one is in the state of North Carolina, and should be a lot of fun for our fans.
What kind of impact would that like the state have a couple years from now on the schedule?
Well, I mean, you know, that's one of the programs that's, you know, in my mind, I've played against them several times over the years, and they just, you know, they've established a great program there, and it's going to be huge for us to compete against them. You know, we compete against them in recruiting, and they've done such a good job that, you know, that's going to be, I think that's going to be a great rivalry for everybody involved, both schools, both fan bases. You know, that's a game that we need to play, and I think it's going to be a really good series. Hopefully we can make it a good series.
They talked about how their uncertainty of their conference schedule. I'm sure you have the same thing. And from talking to Charlotte Sports Commission, have you had any conversations with the big schools to look into going to Bank of America yet, or is that too soon?
Yeah, it's a little soon right now. You know, we hadn't done all that yet. So we'll see going down the road. My vision would be that we would do that. You know, East Carolina's done that for a lot of years and played a game down there early. And I mean, I would like to do that personally, go down there and play and give our kids that, you know, play a school that, you know, from this region that would come in and play us, whether it be South Carolina or whoever, you know. So that's something that, you know, I've talked about, and hopefully we can get that done.
Coach, what time did the first fax come in today?
7:01, I'm sure it was right around there, 7:02. Yeah.
What's your staff like when these faxes come in? And, I mean, I know
Well, you really, it's this day's turn. You know, kids commit so early now, and there's not a ton of surprises on signing day as it used to be. There were a lot, so now it's kind of a relief. You know, you've been talking to these guys for a long time, over a year, and so you're like just relieved when they finally get here and get signed, and you can move on, you know, to the next class and to the next phase of off-season conditioning for the 24-14 season and spring ball and things like that. So that's it's kind of a relief, you know, that they're all here.
Do you get to take a little break now?
No, there's not much of a break for us. We were different in that, you know, because we don't have postseason play yet, we have a little break at Christmas, which is good for our staff because it's a dead period, so we can't recruit. So they force you to, you know, get off the road for a couple weeks. And so we had that break, which was good for our staff because you're grinding hard, and then you kind of have to stop in there, and then you start back up. But now it's on to the next class and conditioning and spring ball. So you just kind of move in the next phase.
Anything else, folks?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you.